Right then, welcome to Gameweek 6 Championship predictions. Let's get straight into it this time. We're not going to bother with no yapping, we're just going to go straight into it with a Friday fixture. Middlesbrough and West Brom, which is tonight. This video is coming out on Friday. Middlesbrough got the draw that I anticipated last week. Scored one more than I thought they would, though. I said it would be a 1-1 game. It was actually 2-2, so I was kind of right. And West Brom, did they lose to Derby? I think it was that fixture. Yes, they lost 1-0 to Derby, which is a surprise. Tough game for West Brom after a disappointing loss, you'd say. Riverside Stadium, obviously, so Middlesbrough have home advantage. I might go in Middlesbrough's favour for this one, actually. I might just edge Middlesbrough for another one, not another, but a 1-0 win, so not Millwall. West Brom lose 1-0 again. There we go. Managed to get it out in the end, didn't I? Yeah, that's fair enough, I think. Friday night, it's never easy to predict, really. Speaking of nighttime fixtures, we've got Monday night this week. Oh, we've been treated. But we're going to move on to Saturday, obviously, next, before we get on to those games. We've got 12:30s as usual, and then the rest are 3 o'clocks, and then we've got a Sunday and a Monday game. So Saturday kickoffs on Sky. We've got Birmingham and Swansea. Swansea drew to Hull and Birmingham lost. So both not quite what I was expecting last week, I'd say. I think after Swansea's good performance against Nottingham Forest, I might edge them for this one, to be honest. I'm going to go 2-1 in Swansea's favour. I'm not 100% confident in that, especially with it being 12:30 as well, but I just think that Swansea put up a good performance in the Cup. They had a disappointing result last week in the league, so to come away to Birmingham and walk away with 3 points would be really impressive, and I think that they might be up for that. Another televised game then, the next one. Quite an interesting one, actually. If I could watch games this week, I'd be watching this one at 12:30, that's for sure. Actually, I don't know, because I'd probably watch Liverpool, but anyways. Leicester and Coventry. Two big teams in this league, both from the Midlands. Be a bit of a spicy affair. I think Coventry are definitely the better side this season so far, and I think I'm going to let them have the away win. 3-1 to Coventry. Yeah, I'm going to say that. Leicester have been a little bit below expectations, and Coventry have been fairly decent. Good point against Norwich. Just managed to clutch it last minute, and brought me in a bit of cash for that, so thanks Coventry. But yeah, a couple of draws, a loss, 2 wins. So obviously they had those big scoring games, then they went on to lose to Millwall, and then they've drawn to Oxford and Norwich since then. So I think they'll be looking for a bit more stability coming back to them after a tough couple of game weeks. Whereas Leicester have been up and down constantly. They managed to beat Charlton and Birmingham, and then they went and drew to Oxford. They had a man sent off as well in Aaron Ramsey, so I think Coventry should probably be winning that one. It seems a fair enough result. I think I said 3-1 anyways. If I didn't say the result, there it is. And the last televised kickoff for Saturday is QPR V Stoke City. QPR been alright, as of Stoke, to be honest. Both coming off of a win. And if we just go to the table real quickly so I can just see how well they are doing. QPR are in 12th, Stoke are in 2nd. So actually, there's been 5 games now, so the whole form list is filled, which also does help a little bit. 4 wins and a loss for Stoke in the league, and 2 wins, 2 losses and a draw for QPR. But they have started to pick up form more recently, which is the more interesting thing. A win against Wrexham away, and a win against Charlton at home. One of the only teams I've seen put a few past Charlton, to be fair, so far in the league. If I just double check that is actually true, hang on. Watford failed, Bristol failed, Bristol City. Leicester only put 1, QPR did 3, and Millwall put 1. So yeah, literally they have scored the most against Charlton so far. So both teams good for a goal. Stoke more good for a win, I'd say. But I don't mind a draw here, to be honest. I might say 1-1 for this one. Stoke haven't drawn yet, but you know, that loss against West Brom. I mean, it is what I can't even speak. They did lose to West Brom, so to go off of that is a bit unfair. But then obviously QPR was the team that got thrashed by Coventry, so I think they can meet in the middle here and have a little draw, perhaps. Now we're moving on to 3 o'clock. We've got Blackburn and Ipswich. Ipswich, a big win against Sheffield United last week on the Friday night. 5-0 is crazy. Blackburn, did they get a draw, I want to say? No, they beat Watford 1-0. Proves how much I know. Don't take these very seriously. Don't put bets on with these results. Blackburn, home advantage. It's a long away day for Ipswich. But after you win 5-0, I think you get a bit of confidence instilled into you, which is what they needed. I think they might start looking for winning ways now. I'm going to say 2-0 to Ipswich away from home. And not much else to say, really, other than fair play for last week. Really impressed with that. Moving on, next we've got Derby County and Preston North End. Preston have been okay, really. Nothing too amazing, nothing too disappointing. Close game with Wrexham, only losing 1-0 to Portsmouth, drawing to Middlesbrough, beating Ipswich, beating Leicester. Really good start, really. And then Derby have been a bit draw against Ipswich, and then a win against West Brom more recently. So they've had 2 difficult games. This is probably another difficult game, really, but I'm looking at the injuries that both these teams have picked up already, and they have quite a few men out. So could that mess with the result? I don't know. I might edge this in Preston's favour and go 2-1. We love a 2-1, don't we? Boring guy. Me, by the way. Not you guys. Yeah, 2-1 to Preston, and we'll move on to quite an interesting one, actually, in Hull and Southampton. I'm not entirely sure what to say here, to be honest. Hull got a draw against Swansea. Southampton, a goalless draw against... Well, it was pretty much their biggest game of the season, playing their rivals at home. And they looked decent, but they couldn't get it in the back of the net. And I'm going to go with another goalless draw here, I think. Yeah, not much to say when I say 0-0, but it's probably going to be wrong from like the first minute. It'll be like amazing goal in like minute 1 from kickoff. 40-yard screamer or something. This prediction will be straight out the window, but yeah, not much to say. So we'll move on to Norwich and Wrexham, which is a very interesting game, actually. Quite a few good games this week. Same in the Premier League as well. If you haven't seen that video, it was posted the day before this one. Pardon me again. So check it out and see what I have to say for those games. But for Norwich and Wrexham, Wrexham did get beat, I believe. Yes, they lost to QPR, obviously. Beat Millwall in... Was that the cup game? No, it was last week. I don't know why I didn't remember that. It just threw me off. And then they beat Preston. And that was in the cup. That's why I've got confused. Okay. Blackburn fell victim to Norwich 2 game weeks ago. And Coventry drew with them last week, obviously. So just more recent ones. We're ignoring Southampton and Middlesbrough because they are good team. Well, I'm not saying that because they're good teams we've got to ignore them, but I'm just saying that I think it's unfair to go off of those when you're predicting them to go up against Wrexham, really. Wrexham are more Blackburn level, really. Well, not even that in my opinion, but anyways. Couple of injuries going Norwich's way, but I'm sure that they'll be able to work that out. If we just look at the table real quick. I just want to see how far Wrexham have climbed since I last had a look. Wrexham are 21st, so they're out of the relegation zone with 1 win in the league. A recent loss to QPR, obviously. A draw to Sheffield Wednesday. I think I'm going to have Wrexham to lose this one, to be honest. How much by? I'm going to say Norwich win 3-0. Yeah, let's go 3-0. Spice it up. Okay, Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday are the next fixtures. We're almost at the end of Saturday and we're 10 minutes in, so this is dragging a bit. I'm going a bit slow today. Portsmouth and Sheffield Wednesday. Goalless draw for Portsmouth. What was Sheffield Wednesday again? I think they lost 3-0 to Bristol City, and then they played midweek as well against Grimsby and lost. So that's not a great look for them. I'm going to edge this in Portsmouth way, obviously. I'm probably going to say another 3-0 result that Sheffield Wednesday will fall victim to. So Portsmouth 3, Sheffield Wednesday 0. And I'm going to start picking up the pace now. We've got another horrible team, Sheffield United, with Chris Wilder back at the wheel against Charlton. Right. Because Chris Wilder is back, I think they're going to start picking up a little bit. I've gone with a 1-1 draw for now, just whilst he eases his way back in again, meets all the new ones, comes to terms with the ones who he's lost. He's still got Gus Armour though, so he'll be right. But yeah, we can't really go off of recent fixtures for Sheffield United because of obviously the manager change, which they should have never got rid of Amface anyway, but he's back, so it's fine. Charlton picked up a point against Millwall recently. Lost to QPR. Lost to Cambridge in the Cup, I assume that is. Well, it obviously must be. Lost to Leicester, drew to Bristol City. I'm going to go 1-1 though. I'm going to say that both teams managed to get a goal. And Sheffield United managed to pick up the first point of the season. Oh, they should have kept Sellers, man. I was enjoying that. Right, Sunday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Bristol City and Oxford United. I'm not sure if this one's going to be televised. I think it will be because it's on Sunday. But yeah, quite a busy week for the Championship this week. Bristol City. How are they going to get on against Oxford, who took a draw from Leicester? And Bristol City beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0. So we've got 5 goals between the two teams last game. Bristol City picked up a win against Hull as well. And Oxford picked up a 2-2 draw against Coventry. So 2 2-2 draws for them. And 2 wins for Bristol City. I'm going to say a draw here, I think. I'm going to be boring. I'm going to say 2-2. I'm literally going to go for Oxford to get the third 2-2 draw in a row. They've managed to bring down a couple of big sides to a 2-2 draw. So why not Bristol City as well? Why not? I'm literally just going to leave it at that. That's the method of the madness. And Monday night, we've got a little London derby here. We've got Millwall and Watford. Quite a tasty one, to be honest. I think Millwall will win it, though. I'm going to say Millwall 2-0 to finish off the video. And I don't really have much to say on it, to be honest. So I think we'll just leave it there before we get to the 15-minute mark, because we're at nearly 14 minutes now. Next week, we start off Friday with West Brom and Leicester, just in case you're interested. So I swear West Brom and Leicester have been on Friday at least twice already, so they'll probably be knackered by now. But anyways, that has been the Game Week 5 predictions. Quite an Game Week 6, sorry. I don't know if I said 6 at the start or 5. Yeah, we're two weeks ahead of the Premier League. I'm confusing myself now. No, we're not, sorry. We're on game... I'll tell you why. It's because that's the wrong way around. Right, there we go. I've fixed it. And we're almost at the 15-minute mark. So please comment down below what you think should happen this week and subscribe. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. And I'll see you all in the next one. So bye for now.